evening. Welcome back to another Tuesday night Unwind with Strala Yoga. So tonight we're going to continue that theme that we started last Tuesday night, which was kind of an introduction to Strala Yoga and was super gentle, and we stayed in that standing position the whole time and just talked about the dynamics involved and the easy flow of your breath and your body together, creating that kind of natural movement and feel-good quality that Strala Yoga brings with it. Tonight we're going to go into a little more movement. So this is noted as a 3 chili pepper class, moderate on my intensity scale. So we will be on the floor, we'll be on hands and knees, and we'll make our way up to standing and then come back down from there, just so you know what's coming. And I want you to make sure that you feel safe in getting to those positions. And if you don't, then you can always go back to last week's where you stay in that standing position, or any of the chair classes that are on that Facebook library. Okay, so we're gonna start seated. Find a comfortable place. In a seated position, if you like to have a blanket underneath your hips to make your hip level a little bit higher off the floor, feel free to do that. And then you can move that blanket away when we come off this position. Okay, so resting the hands just nicely on the legs. Let's take a moment to catch up with ourselves. So we've all had a full day already. This is one of my favorite times of the day to practice because it really reconnects and re-engages our familiarity and our understanding of what's happening in our bodies after a full day of doing whatever it is that we've been doing. So let's just start by slowing things down in body and mind and breath, letting that breath come from a place that might be really high and short, and inviting it to come a little bit deeper, inviting your whole body just to sink down a little bit and settle down. And then we can enjoy where we go from that place of ease, a place that's a little more relaxed, and feel better as we go. So I'm going to start a little gentle sway. I'm going to close my eyes for a couple of minutes here. Feel free to do those things that feel right in your body. So that's the whole point, is to really connect with you and feel more like you as you go. Want to even use your legs to support yourself and lean off to one side. Relax your head and neck here, easy shoulders. See where that head and neck naturally want to fall to. Maybe a little turn of the neck a little bit one way and the other way. You can cruise right through the center by giving yourself some support on the floor through the opposite hand and crawling your way over to the other side. So we're using our body in a way to lean and give ourselves support. You can practice this in any number of ways throughout your day. Finding ways to make your positions and your movements more easy, more supported, reducing tension that is created when we force and we grip and we tense our bodies. Just crawling your way through that center place. Let's come in this center place a little forward here if you're comfortable with this. Otherwise, stay right in the middle, and I'm going to crawl my hands any amount forward. again, a little sway side to side. So relaxing your lower back and your hips. And again, letting your head just drop forward. See where it wants to go here. Relax the back of the neck as you come. And then again, pressing into those palms to ease your way back up, nice and slowly. It's a great way to, just as we've started, to slow everything down, to come at things with more ease. Approaching everything you do during the day with that same perspective of how can I go in a little softer and a little more gently so that I'm not exhausted or I'm not overdoing. I promise you that most people, 99.9%, are overdoing in their physical bodies as they move through their day. So the more that we can become aware of that kind of reality and how we can back off from it, how we can relax and soften and use our bodies in better ways so that they'll sustain what we're trying to do more effectively, more efficiently, then we're doing ourselves such a great favor. Not only in the moment that we're practicing it, but cumulative as we age and as we get to the end of our lives, our bodies will thank us that we've treated ourselves with kindness and gentleness as we go through all of our days. All right, let's lean off to the right side, send the left foot out to the side, and you can send that leg any direction that feels comfortable. If you want to bring it a little bit more to that forward place, feel free to do that, or any amount of an opening. You want that hip to be nice and relaxed here. Same little sway side to side. And supporting yourself with the same side hand in front of that leg, any amount of a bend over to that side. So careful again in your body. I bend a little bit more fully than a lot of people because I'm extra mobile and have always been in my body. So don't feel like you've got to match the position that I'm going towards. So keep your body relaxed. When you feel that place where you know that that's enough of a bend for you, then breathe right there and relax into it. No need to force something that you're not comfortable with because you'll end up doing yourself more harm than good. Take some deep breaths here. Relax the head as you're here. And then using that hand to press your way back up, easing your body up. Let's lean back behind the hips with both hands and gently switching out legs to the other side. So left leg going out. Again, adjusting that leg wherever you want it on that kind of spectrum of towards the front or more out to the side. Listen to that hip that you're leaning into. Make sure you're nice and comfortable there. And then same side hand in front of that leg for support, and soften your way over that direction any amount. Relax the head and the neck. See where that opposite arm just naturally falls to. And any rolling around or sway or rock that feels natural and helps you just to enjoy this position. And again, pressing through the palms to ease your body back up towards center. Sending both hands behind the hips. I'm going to turn a little bit sideways so you can see here. We're going to send both legs out to the front. Same thing here. You can have a nice big bend in the knees. Relaxing the hips as you're here. This is one of those positions where it might be really helpful to have a blanket or a bolster underneath your hips if you can't get here comfortably. So remember, that's always an option as you go. And we're just going to create a little bit of space here before we fold forward any amount, and maybe folding forward is not the right thing for you. So just feel this position first. A little rock side to side, a little lifting up out of the hips, a nice deep breath, and then any amount of folding forward as you exhale. You can keep that sway going. I always love a little bit of movement in the mix to keep noticing my body and relaxing my body. Always something new to discover as you're listening to your body during movement and in the moment. It really helps keep your mind involved in what you're doing. Noticing sensations, noticing where your body parts are in space, how you can relax, what part might be tensing up, and how you can take better care of that part. That's all so good. I mean, that's what mind-body ideally practices are meant to be. Total presence. Good, gently coming out. Walking the hands back. Let's send the hands behind the hips again, just opening the chest a bit. Take a deep breath. Nice big exhale. Good. We're gonna make our way gradually towards hands and knees. So sending both hands off to one side and sending both feet around behind you. Take your time. So all these transitions, all these switches from one place to another are opportunities to relax the body. Notice how things feel. Crawl your way there easily instead of fast and using momentum or getting tense as you go. Hands and knees here. Find a place that's nice and kind of supportive. So the wider your hands are, the wider your knees are, the better and the safer you're gonna feel, the more you're gonna relax into this position. So as you're here, a little rock side to side, dropping the belly towards the floor. Let that lower back just naturally arch and notice how that feels in your body. Dropping the head forward, let the weight of the head hang, and notice the back of the neck. Getting a little stretch, a little release. Good, we're gonna crawl our way towards that next position. Don't be scared, we're going towards downward dog. But we're not gonna force it, we're gonna ease our way up. And you can keep that side to side sway going. There's no reason to stop that soft movement. It's gonna help you go there. And you don't have to go in one piece. You can push through 1 foot at a time and just let the hips float up in the air any amount. So you're supported now through your hands and your feet. Nice big bend in the knees. You can keep the heels lifted off the floor here. You don't have to press anything down. You don't have to force anything anywhere. Little shift, little rock, side to side. Let's keep that rock going and just cruise 1 foot at a time, a little bit forward, and one hand at a time, a little bit forward. We're making our way to the top of the mat. No hurry at all. Nice big bend in the knees here. You don't have to have straight knees. Drop your head. Turn the head a little bit side to side and relax. And then gently starting to roll up through the back. Let the arms just hang. Feel the floor underneath the feet. Coming right up to standing. The last thing to come up is the top of the head. Take a moment here just to listen to the body. 3 deep breaths. Big exhale. Relax with each one. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. arms out to the side and right up overhead. Little reach, and then bend the knees, start to roll forward, dropping over the legs, coming right back where we came from. Hands on the mat, big bend in the knees, and right back to that little shift side to side. We're gonna start to walk the feet back, 1 foot at a time, back towards that downward dog position. Take your time going. Keep the hips relaxed, keep the back relaxed. Finding that soft down dog and keep it gently shifting, breathing side to side, relaxing as you go. Good. On your next inhale, take a roll forward towards a nice high plank. You can wiggle the feet back if you need a little more space for your body. A little play here if this feels safe for you. A little rock side to side. Maybe a little roll of the hips side to side as you're here. Easy head and neck. And then let's drop the knees down to the mat. Returning to this hands and knees position. Finding that same easy place of relaxing the belly towards the floor. Easy head and neck, little rock side to side. Good. We're going to crawl both hands off to the right side of your space. Leaning off to this right side, that left leg is free to come around and forward to the front of your mat, and then crawling the hands back towards center. Gentle lunge stretch. So you may feel better if you're a little bit higher up here. Relaxing that front hip and back hip. And again, a little sway side to side might be a really good thing for you to keep from locking up and getting stiff in any position. Easy head and neck here as well. Deep breaths will help you relax. And then we're going to shift the hips back towards a runner's stretch. You can lengthen out that front leg any amount, float the toes up. Just easy, soft ankle. You can keep the hips high like this and just hinge forward any amount. Or if you want to tuck the back toes, and ease back into a seated position on the back heel. Only if that's okay on that back knee. Take some deep breaths. And easy crawling your way back up where you came from. Tucking the back toes if they're not already tucked. A nice wide supporting right palm on the ground. We're going to float the back knee up and have a little twist, a little opening to the left. Relax the shoulders. Let the back just open and rotate. And then drop right back down where you came from. Sending both hands off to that right side of your mat again. That front foot can swing back around where it came from. And here you are in your home base, hands and knees. Take a moment to get re-centered, relaxed. Easy back of the neck. And we'll go the same thing to the other side. So crawling both hands off to the left side of your mat. Now that back right foot can swing around and forward, walking back towards the center of your mat and finding a soft stretch here. Deep breaths. Relax the head and neck. Floating the hips back towards that runner's stretch. Remember, you've got a couple of options here. You can keep the hips lifted up, fold forward over that front leg, or you can tuck the toes in back and sink the hips towards that back heel and rest down. Gently starting to crawl your way back forward where you came from. Tucking the back toes, floating that back knee and opening the body into any amount of a twist and opening to the right. Easy shoulder and head and neck. And softening that back knee back down, roll the belly back forward. Both hands crawling off to the left side again, so that right foot has lots of opening and space to come back home. Right back to hands and knees. Home base position, relax the back. Roll around here. Let's play here for another little bit here. Going into any amount of a cat-cow direction that feels good, so a little bit of curling back and forth. You can combine this with rolling it side to side. Lots of movement available to the spine in this position. So the more you can just relax and explore those directions without forcing, it's like a nice massage for the spine, good nutritious movement. And whenever you're ready, we're going to sink the hips back towards a child's pose. You can place those front hands wherever you like. You don't have to have them stretched out in front. If you want to just relax them in and support your head, feel free to do that. Some easy breaths in and out. On your next inhale, just start to ease your way back up towards hands and knees, and we'll come back to that seated position just where we started in. Take your time. Remember, those transition movements are just as important as any other position that we go to. Just like any other moment in your day is just as important as the other, or any. Yeah? All right, little sway side to side. We're gonna just have a final connection and listening moment to the body. Deep breaths in and out. Return to any of those stretches that we used in the beginning, to the sides or to the front if you like. Or you could just keep a soft sway, soft breath going. Take 2 more deep breaths all together. Nice inhale. And an easy exhale. And in. And out. Opening your eyes and returning to the space around you and the time that you're in now. So I hope that was, I hope it was an adventure in getting to know your own body and helping your own body. That's what every yoga class should really be about, is how are you doing? How can you help yourself? How can you explore those ways of moving and being that are helpful and meaningful, and that you can carry and use practically in everyday life. All right, thanks for joining, and I'll see you Friday for a little short noon meditation. Peace, y'all.